Kerisse Hutchinson, the writer and performer of To the Left, a tribute to the life of Lisa Left Eye Lopez that's having an on-stage to your screen streaming experience with Aurora Theatre, and you can watch it worldwide from your home, on your TV, on your phone, on your computer, and be safe and be entertained. Yeah. A little bit about me. So, Kerisse was a figment of my mom's imagination. She liked the name Charisse. She put a K on it. But I found out a couple of years ago that it actually means grace in Greek, which was pretty cool because I lived my whole life thinking my name had no meaning other than what I gave it. So I like that. A little bit about me. I love mangoes a lot. I love soca music and classic R&B. I love tennis a lot. Go Serena with getting 24. I believe in you. And oh yeah, 2020 for Federer and Nadal. It's pretty cool this year. Yeah. I love the waterfalls. Of course. I love nature. I love birds. I love deer sightings. I hate bugs. Hate it. Hate them. And I love spending time with my friends and my family, which I'm really missing during this year and with this pandemic. But I'm glad to be able to see them during Zoom, I guess. Yeah, that's a little bit about me. So, why did I write a story about Left Eye? Over the years, people would tell me that I looked like Left Eye. Randomly, people I knew or sometimes just strangers would just mention it. And there was a teacher of mine that, his name is Ray Yannicelli, who one day said, you know, you look like that girl Left Eye from that girl group TLC. And you should actually consider doing a project about her. And I was the first person to even say anything like that. But then after that, people would randomly say to me, you should consider doing a project about Left Eye. And it happened many times. So there was actually one year that a film of mine was in South by Southwest Film Festival. And it was the same year that her documentary, Last Days of Left Eye, was premiered there. And I was in the theater watching the film, and something came over me, and I asked myself, how would you feel if you were watching this film and it was a narrative, dramatic film about her, not a documentary, and you didn't have a part in it? And it was in that moment that I recognized what the universe had been telling me, and it was up to me to either say yes or no. And I chose to say yes, not knowing it was going to lead to this 10-year journey, but through tons of mentorships. And part of it was also figuring out what vehicle would I tell her story on. Will it be a film? Will it be theater? My thought was that, okay, if it's a film, I could write this film and have to wait years and years and years for it to be greenlit because I don't have the money to pay for it. With theater, if I write a play, I can invite people into my house and do the play. And I wanted to do a solo show because I really wanted to just delve into her and what made Lisa, you know, and not just who Left Eye was, but who was the woman behind the fame. And it was also a good opportunity to like be a vehicle for myself as an actor, and which is always, you know, a good thing for actors to do, to find other ways to showcase their art and other ways to channel, you know, their inner yearnings to just work their art. And so that's where it came from. But then it led me to reaching out to her brother on Facebook, Ronald, and he responded, and I told him about the project I've been working on, and he told me that if you really want to know who my sister was, you need to go to Honduras. And I went and had a great time, and got to really see why she fell in love with the land. And it was also very cathartic for myself because my little sister had passed the year prior. So I got to do some healing out there for myself, and just got to visit Usha Village. And she traveled to Honduras over 15 times to meet with Dr. Sabi. So I got to see Usha Village and meet with some of his family and just breathe. And it was just really nice. And I also traveled to Philadelphia to see where she grew up, and then to Atlanta and got to meet a lot of her other friends and family, her mom, her sister, her assistant Stephanie, and her best friend and cousins Tangi and Trinae, and they just poured a lot of stories into me about their friend and their sister, and just shared and just opened up to me and became friends of mine. So it's been a challenging journey, but I've learned so much, and it's been the best journey I've ever been on when it comes to art, and I'm very thankful for it, and I love what came of it, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with everybody. Yeah. So what's Lisa's place in Atlanta music history and the music industry as a whole? They just broke down walls. They stemmed from the 90s music boom that was happening in Atlanta. And you had Rico Wade and Organized Noise, and I got to spend some time with Rico Wade, and he actually introduced Lisa to Tion. And Rico Wade and Organized Noise, they're the people who were behind Outkast and Goody Mob and CeeLo. And then there was Jermaine Dupri, who Lisa, and So Def, who Lisa and Tion, they recorded a demo with them. And then there was LaFace Records. You had LA and Babyface, who were behind artists like Tony Braxton, and Jermaine Dupri, So Def was behind Criss Cross. There was just so much happening in Atlanta in the 90s, and TLC was a part of that. And then outside of Atlanta, they just burst through the seams of the music industry as a whole, and just were trailblazers. It was this R&B girl group with a rapper, which was pretty much unheard of. And they were wearing condoms, promoting safe sex, which was a big thing during that time. But then they weren't overly sexualized because they were wearing these baggy clothes. So like girls could follow them, boys loved them. So they just had and they had this chutzpah about them. I guess you wouldn't call it chutzpah, but the swag about them. And then they went on to win tons of Grammys and were certified diamonds, which meant they sold more than 10 million albums, which was the first time a girl group ever did that. And they were the highest selling girl group in the country. So, and they still are. So they've done all those things. So the music industry is a totally different place because of them. It was the first CD that I owned, was a TLC CD. So, and they're still so relevant now, with songs like Waterfalls, and you have No Scrubs, and just so many different ways. And I forgot to talk about Escape, with Candy writing No Scrubs. Just so much came from Atlanta, and TLC was at the helm of that with Left Eye. In the midst of that, I love the TLC and more. What is Lisa's legacy? And there lies the question. That's something that she struggles with and is searching for throughout the play. What is her legacy going to be? And whenever I meet somebody, and there's so many people who have stories about Lisa or her music in some kind of way, there are three things that pretty much always come up. It's Waterfalls, her music. It's her burning down Andre Rison's house, and Honduras. And she's here, has won so many accolades and has changed the face of music, and then finds herself in a place where it's not enough. And then she goes to Honduras and she meets Dr. Sebi and goes there multiple times and in her life. And then she's searching for peace, and then is in a car accident and passes at the age of 30. So what's her legacy? And so as a playwright, that's something that I delved deeply into. And I guess, shameless plug, you're going to have to watch To the Left to find out what I believe her legacy is, which is Left Eyes at number 7. So you have to watch it, and you have to watch all the way to the end to Left Eyes at number 7. But along with that, she has made such an impact on my life, through the writing of the play, through her music, through her strength. And so then because of that, I'm part of her legacy. And then if my play To the Left makes any type of impact on someone else, then they're part of her legacy too. Lisa's story and the play relevant for today. Into the left, we find Lisa asking a lot of stirring questions, like, what is life? What is death? Am I enough? Am I doing enough? What is enough? At the end of the day, what the heck am I here for? And it's questions that I actually was asking myself while I was writing the play when my little sister transitioned. I think it's questions that many artists like myself ask or have asked themselves, trying to find their purpose. And then now in this year, 2020, I think a lot of people are being brought to that question or those questions because we have this shaking that's happening with the pandemic and with massive layoffs, and then the social unrest stemming from the continued unjust killings of Black men and Black women, and then the election. And please vote. Please vote. Probably the most important part of this whole video. But there's been all of that. But then with that, there's also been this cleansing of the earth and of the air, and this quieting of people who are having more time just to sit and be still and be quiet and listen and see what comes up. And that's where Lisa found herself and began asking herself, what am I eating? What am I digesting mentally, physically, spiritually? And then what am I putting out there? What am I birthing? Who am I affecting by what I put out there? And those are all questions that either we are asking ourselves, or I believe that we need to be asking ourselves, especially at this point. And I hope that this play will help stir those questions inside of the audience members, and then also help lead them to their answers, like Lisa was led to her answers, and then to walk out those answers. So I know that writing this play has made me ask those questions, and putting this play out is part of my answer of why the heck am I here? And I just hope that everyone enjoys it, that you're entertained, but then you're also moved. So definitely let me know. How do you like it? What parts did you like? What parts made you question things? What parts, I don't know, just talk to us. Thank you, Aurora, so much for producing this play during these times. And thank you, everyone, for participating. This play is actually very audience interactive, so the fact that I had to do it without an audience was strange. But there's a part of me that knows that all of y'all are out there. So I hope to connect with you, whether it's through social media or whether it's a year or two from now when theaters are back open again and you can see the play in person, and we can meet, we can hug, we can share, and just share spirit's energy, because that's what we do with theater. So theater's strong, theater's back, thankful. All right, to the left.